So I've got my Singer cross stitch attachment here. Took me a long time to figure out what I'm supposed to do with this machine, this contraption, because it's a bit of an odd one. However, I realized as I was working on it recently that it doesn't just do borders, it actually fills in very well. So it enables to do a fill embroidery pattern, which is quite fun. So that I quite like the idea of, that you can fill in with an alternative texture. So you can do straight stitching, you do zigzag, but in this you can use a cross stitch to fill in. So I have to get the right distance, oops, pull the thread out, from the edging so that it stands out. This will be a bit of a challenge, so I'm going to do a loop around the outside just to get the balance once I figure it out. In fact, I might just start from the middle, it's safer. So let's start from the middle and do a line out so that we can get used to the machine. Okay, so off we go. It's going to be a little difficult to see, so I'll try and zoom in a bit, and then I'll show you close up. So it goes, makes little triangles essentially, like a cross stitch. It's going back, and then it's going forward, and then it's going on an angle backwards. Goes forward, and goes on an angle backwards, so it makes little triangles. Okay, so once it finishes that one, I will spin. Put that down, needle down, and we'll do a little spin. So I think in this case we don't necessarily have to do circles. Circles are actually very difficult to achieve with this back and forth motion. Not impossible, but there's probably no value. If we're just putting texture in, it doesn't have to always be directional. It can be straight lines across the circle. I don't want to go too fast, there's a lot going on with this. Although it is Swiss made, so I'm sure it works as flawlessly as things can, considering it's got to move the fabric. I actually wish that other zigzag attachments had this little arm that comes down to move the fabric. It's very secure that way. So we're coming up to the time where we need to spin. And that's the last one. And what we'll do is when it gets here, we'll spin. See, I'm not sure if you can see a bit of the texture that's going on there now, but when I come back it'll be a little more obvious. I might try and go around the outside here for fun. Just make sure I don't get too close to the edge so I don't damage any of the hem stitching. As you can imagine, this will take a long time. Now the one thing that is really good about this attachment, which surprised me, is just because of its design, it will sew over top of its previous stitching, so it doesn't bind. Whereas a lot of the ZigZag attachments, as soon as you start getting build up, they start binding. But this one, because it's the way it's designed, it moves forward on a stump rather than this foot. This foot only moves it in a fixed set of things, but the actual movement of the actual forward motion is done by this little stump thing. And so of course because it lifts the foot, it can go over denser stitching, which makes it actually really useful for this, which I never really realized. You can go at quite a clip with this attachment, really. I don't want to go too fast. And also when the foot is down, if that stump is down, that's when you can turn the fabric, because it permits that. You can't turn it when the foot is flat because it's holding it too securely. You can actually go reasonably quickly with this one. I don't really want to break a needle, so I'm not going to go any faster than this, but this is quite a reasonable clip, considering what we're doing. I need to snip the thread. Alright, so I shall show you the end result.
Except for the hideous oil stains. My fault, I owe it that none did work.